What's going on, guys? Alex at No Tech. How you doing? We have an unboxing video today. Oftentimes, I go on Amazon and I look through the unlocked phones and I filter it to newest releases and I forage for some low price devices because we do look at mid, low, and also high-end phones here. So we have a wide range. We want to cover things for everybody. But we do look at devices that we think have good build quality and respectable specs, regardless of the price point. And so oftentimes we buy phones like the Blue R1 HD and also the Pure XR. We've taken a look at a few Blue phones, especially last year. There was a lot of good stuff last year. But they came out with a phone called the Vivo 5 and also a refresh of that, literally called the Vivo 5R. So I don't know if the R stands for refresh or not, but it was literally called the Vivo 5R. But the Vivo 5 series was a very affordable phone, $200, decent build, and it also looked good, and it was respectable in terms of the specs inside. And it was a very popular phone on Amazon, and a lot of people bought it. I think they sell it at Best Buy as well. Apparently this thing came out in January. This is called the Vivo 5 Mini, so I guess it's in the Vivo 5 family. It came out in January. It flew under my radar. It flew under my hat, actually. I didn't see this on their Twitter feed. I didn't see this announced anywhere. I had no idea this phone came out until I came across it on Amazon. So I went to Best Buy. They had one in stock. I picked it up. We're going to unbox this thing. This is the Blue Vivo 5 Mini. 4-inch phone. 4-inch Android screen phone. And it looks a lot like another 4-inch phone from a fruit company. We'll take a look at this thing. So let's go over this phone really quickly. We'll flip it around. You see some of the information here. We're going to talk about this after we pull out the phone. And this is how the Blue phone looks like, the V5 Mini. Well, like us, very typical Blue fashioned phone in terms of its boxing. So pulling the box up, we have the phone here. And it's pretty slanted. It's not even boxed properly. But, I don't know. They're all over the place. Sometimes Blue gives you some really nice packaging. Other times, it's kind of like this. It's kind of a little funky. What else is in the box? We have a little gel case. Blue usually gives you a gel case, so nothing out of the ordinary here. We have the charging brick. Actually, it's a charging brick with the cable. It's a micro USB cable, and it's an all-in-one, so it's not even detachable. It's a pretty big brick here. And that's about it. We have the guidebook. We don't really need this. So let's move it to the side. And let's pull out the phone here. This is the Vivo 5 Mini. And the first thing we can see is the spec sheet here. So you guys can see this. I will use this for reference on the back. So the Vivo 5 Mini has a 4.0 curved glass display. I don't know what that means because it doesn't look like it's curved glass at all. But after we peel this off, we'll take a closer look at this. But it's 4.0. So this is a very small screen. It's a very small phone. And this is very reminiscent of another phone. Another phone out there. This phone, to be exact. But we'll take a look at that a little later. But the blueprint of this is a 4-inch phone. So we don't really have 4-inch phones in the Android field, at least usable 4-inch phones. So we're going to see if this is usable. This also it doesn't say on here, but it doesn't even have 1 GB of RAM. This only has 512 megabytes for RAM. So that's not a lot of RAM. You're not going to be running a lot of stuff on here. So we're going to actually test that out later on too, see what we can actually do on this phone. We have a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor. It's a MediaTek processor. Once again, I'm not expecting much. But at the same time, I didn't expect much from another phone that they did, the R1 HD, and that actually really surprised me with the performance. It's an aluminum build, so $69 gets you an aluminum build. That is pretty amazing. It feels pretty good in the hand, actually. It actually feels it feels like the iPhone SE in terms of build quality. So that's a good thing right there. We have a 5 megapixel back camera, so that's not a lot of megapixels there, and I don't expect a lot from this sensor here. And then you can store up to 64 gigabytes of storage using a micro SD card. So it supports up to a 64 gigabyte card. There's only 8 megabytes of onboard storage, I believe. There's only 8 megabytes. And then we have a 3.2 megapixel selfie camera, not a lot there. And this is a little misleading here. So I was reading on Amazon and also on Best Buy, people were kind of arguing with one another about whether this has LTE or not. This does not have LTE. This only has 3G and 2G. And on T-Mobile, if you use global SIM phones, on T-Mobile, there's something called HSPA Plus, which is basically 4G. It's a step below LTE. But it's a little concerning that a lot of people misunderstand 4G. When they see 4G, they automatically think it's LTE. That's not true. There's 4G LTE and there's HSPA+. So by putting 4G here, some people might think that it means LTE. That's not true. There is no LTE on this phone. And it also runs Android Marshmallow, apparently. So it's one version behind. But Marshmallow on a $69 phone is still better than Lollipop. So I'm glad they actually shipped it with Marshmallow, even though this is a 2017 phone. On the back, we just have some information about the SIM card and the SD cards. But okay, let's look at the phone. So the front, we actually have the buttons off screen, right? So it's a 4-inch phone. You have your navigation buttons off screen, back button, home button, and recent apps. So at least they have this layout. And some Blue phones, for some reason, they follow the Samsung layout with the back button on the opposite side. I'm glad that they don't have that here in stock like. And then we have the Blue logo, huge Blue logo, big bezels here, and the speaker here. And then at the top of the phone, we have the micro USB charging port right there. So micro USB charging port is right here, and the headphone jack. So there is a headphone jack here, unlike some Apple devices. And then we have the SIM ejector right here. This is the tray. Nothing else on this side. On the bottom, we have the speaker and the reset slot there, and antenna lines, volume rockers, and also the power button. So let's power this on. Very simple design, and of course the back we have the camera, and that is it with the Blue logo right there. So I'm not one to criticize companies for blatantly copying other things. I will never say someone blatantly copies another brand, but this looks really similar. This looks really similar. It really does. Except no home button though, so at least you have to say they didn't add the home button. So let's actually set this thing up. Oh yeah, the display is also, it's not even an HD display. This is a 480p display. 480p display, and I heard the viewing angles are really bad. From a lot of people are complaining about that who have purchased this. Well, we're gonna see. I'm actually just looking at it from this side because I'm trying to show in front of the camera. It's pretty hard to see the screen, and I'm literally like I'm like right next to it, and I have a hard time looking at it. So we'll set it up, and we'll be right back. Okay, we got the phone all set up and ready to go. Setup process is very standard Android, nothing out of the ordinary there. But yeah, the display takes a little getting used to, especially after if you've used 1080p displays or higher Quad HD. Yeah, not even 720p. I don't think this is even a laminated display. I'm gonna double check that, and I will tell you guys in the full review of it. This is the same price. It's hard to believe this is the same price as the R1 HD. So I'm not sure what Blue is. It's kind of hard for you to see in the camera here, but see, if I turn it like that, or even off to the side, the viewing angles, the colors just completely disappear. Like, it's like you're looking at a different screen. So the viewing angles are not good on this. It's very stock. I like stock, so this is definitely a plus for me. We'll go down to About Device, make sure we are indeed running Android Marshmallow, which we are. So Android Marshmallow running on this phone, that is impressive though. $69 gets you this. I can't really tell you how many phones out there for $69 can get you Marshmallow, but that's not a huge list. So this is the Vivo 5 Mini. The last security update was December. Don't expect any updates on this if you're buying this. Let's see if there's any updates right now. Checking for updates. Maybe there's one update? No, I am currently up to date. So they have not updated this phone since the release. So this actually uses Google's stock Messenger. That's really great. They really kept it simple. It's actually all stock, not a lot of bloatware. You can't really have a lot of bloatware when you only have 8 gigabytes of storage and also 500 megabytes of RAM. So you can't really do much. The only blue app on here is Blue Help. So pretty cool. Let's turn on the camera because, you know, the camera, I mean, there's a camera on here. So there's a camera on here. I'll put the iPhone there and take a shot of it here. Okay, so the shutter speed, of course, is very minimal, very slow. Okay, let's actually take a look at the photo. So, I mean, I have the studio lit right now. And megapixel count is very low, of course, but seems to be okay. You know, it's not too bad, actually, for $69. Once again, the Blue R1 HD for that same price is much better, but this is better than I thought. I thought this would be like really bad potato quality. And actually, the interface here, though, it's very old. This is like a Kit Kat gingerbread kind of style camera. Blue has done better. That's kind of interesting too. I don't know why Blue doesn't consistently keep it keep all their phones in one style. For some reason, they don't do that. Okay, so this is a selfie cam. Oh yeah, this is having a hard time with the exposure right now. Or maybe not the exposure, maybe it's just the angle, because from my angle looking at this, it looks completely different from what you're seeing on the camera. So this really has a display problem because it's not even HD, and it's also just, it's really hard to look at from a certain angle. You have to look at it straight on in order for this to actually look like a good screen. But yeah, we have to test this out. We gotta actually run some apps, see if this actually runs well. I might do an actual video playing some games on here or running Facebook or just any apps and multitasking just to test this out. 500 megabytes. Let's see if this can actually run it. So run anything basically of your daily use. Once again, my name is Alex from SipNerdTech. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out other videos, including the Blue videos we did last year. And I will see you guys very soon.
If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!